Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to the Dum Yinzers. This is episode 216. Good morning. What's going on, Mike?
What up, homie? What up, everyone?
You know.
Oh, I know. I know.
We are back, everybody. We're back, Mike. I got a few ideas for the end of the week. I believe that on Friday's show, we will do a New Year's special. Which leaves you many assignment.
Oh no, God no. Oh no. Oh no.
We spoke earlier about a little bit. Just I think we're gonna put together like a small list. Put together a small list of.
Oh yes, I remember now. Yes.
Some of your favorite things that happened through this year. Some more memorable things. Some more embarrassing things.
How come I think all the embarrassing things will involve me?
Well, I know they will because I'm already looking at my list, and I could already tell you that my list, all the embarrassing things, they have to do with you.
Fair enough.
But we'll do that on Friday, Mike. We'll do Friday's gonna be the New Year's show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also gonna be the picks, so we got a lot going on that day.
Ooh, there's a lot going on Friday.
Maybe we'll have a couple of drinks or something before we go on the air. And
I had one earlier today.
So yeah, you'll have to up it. You'll in the end of the week.
That's no problem for me because my day is done by the time show starts. This is my evening right now.
Maybe we'll dabble in some intoxication for the show since it's the New Year's show.
I'll gladly be ripped. You don't have to tell me to day drink. Fuck, man, I got a problem. I mean, I'm a perfectly well-adjusted individual.
And like I was saying, as far as the New Year's show goes, I don't literally have a list, but so far the things in my head that I have planned to talk about throughout the year, there have some pretty good stuff.
Me too, actually. I got a couple things that just popped in my head because I forgot we talked about this. We talked about it over before, leading up into Christmas and everything.
Yeah. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll do that.
Oh yeah.
We'll do that on Friday.
You just want to embarrass me more.
I ever want to embarrass you?
Yes, you do. You wanted to throw cheese on my bald head.
Well, that was totally warranted. There was nothing about that, Mike, that was not justified. We had you lost to a dummy, and of course it's an inanimate object.
Piece of cheese, this is
and you were this close. You were this close to losing to a piece of cheese, yes. So don't rule that out, Mike. We will find some reason to throw cheese at your head at some point. I promise.
That's messed up, bro. That's messed up. Cheese at my head. What did I do to deserve that?
Well, by losing
there's a lot.
Object was the that was the first one. The first time that you lost to the dummy, I thought, oh, we can't. I mean, how many times does somebody lose to a dummy?
This is me we're talking about here, okay? Oh my God, I'm falling asleep. We just started. This ain't good.
Penguins, Mike. Penguins back in action.
Talk about falling asleep.
Yes, back in action last night. They dropped it 5-1 to the New York Islanders up on the Long Island. Penguins record is now 19-10-5. They have 43 points, and they're in fourth place, tied with the Rangers in the division at the moment. That's the thing about this hockey season. One game you could be in second place, you lose a game, next thing you know you're in fourth place. So I'm not too worried about that just at this moment.
Carolina has not stopped.
No, Carolina's tough, man.
They have 52 points already. 23-6-6. They are just
Yeah, Carolina's gonna be tough. And the thing is about hockey, it isn't all about getting the highest seed, having the best record. I mean, obviously, a lot of times teams that have the best record in the hockey league tend to falter in the playoffs. But with hockey, it's different. I mean, you secure one of those top 8 spots or whatever it is you're in. You don't have to worry about kinda like the
Mhm.
Steelers right now. You kinda
Yeah,
have to, get in where you fit in. But, I always got confidence that the Penguins are gonna get into the playoffs.
yeah.
Not
'Cause I
often
think,
do they miss. So,
yeah, because we've seen, like, God, the number 1 seed get upset by the 8 seed. Because home ice advantage is nice, you get that line change, but if you can't, if you don't wanna have, like, the lines to do the, matching up the way you want, it's a moot point at that point.
yeah.
Because we home ice advantage, that was supposed to be a huge thing, when Penguins beat Nashville, it's like, "Oh god, the home crowd here is gonna be so tough," but we dominated Nashville on home ice, so
Yeah. It
it's
certainly
really not a
wasn't.
big deal unless you have, like, you have to have the talent around to be able to use that home
Yeah,
ice.
the home ice down in Nashville surprised me that we didn't that didn't bother us because, I mean, it was an
Yeah.
amazing, amazing
Yeah.
environment with the fans and the how loud they were and the chanting and the cheering and
Well, that was the Penguins were battle tested at that point. They
yeah.
won the year previous, so thank you, Jake.
Mike, this first game back from the break against the Islanders is, they were 6-0 under Sully in this game. The first
Mhm.
game coming back from Christmas breaks, and they dropped to 6-1, which still isn't bad.
Everyone just played bad last night. Like, you couldn't even find like a Penguin to point to and say, "Hey, good effort."
Yeah.
Like usually, things go bad. Like, hey, Sid played well. Eh, not so much that game. Like it was like everyone was at fault.
They're still on break.
Yeah, fuck it.
Taking
Those guys are old, man. They're like, they were.
taking an extended Christmas
Yeah,
break.
you know.
Also,
It is
Mike,
what it is at this point.
Diari was 10-1-0 all-time versus
Mhm.
the Islanders in regular season going in. Obviously, he dropped the game, so he's 10-2-0, still pretty good.
Trade him. Trade him. He's a bum.
Also, the other, largely successful Penguin against the Islanders is Sidney Crosby,
Yeah.
who has 128 points against the Islanders. Now, he's only the 17th player since 1967 to have 100
Mhm.
points against 3 different teams,
Jesus.
being the Islanders, the Rangers, and the Flyers. But you know what? All those things didn't really seem to matter last night. The Islanders did. They beat us 5-1. The Penguins, they play tonight. They're back at it tonight at home against
Yes.
the Detroit Red Wings at 7:30.
Hopefully,
Also,
that's going to be the game that, cures us a little bit. This is not the Detroit team of old. This Detroit team has not been playing that well, or has not been that good for a few years now. So hopefully, no, it's nice little remedy to cure us.
I think they're going to be okay. I don't know where the Islanders are, but you know what? You're doing pretty good. You come out of the break, you lose a game. Oh well, you get back at it.
Oh man, they're a point behind the
Are they?
Penguins. Yeah, so they're you got Washington, Pittsburgh, the Rangers, and the Islanders all right there. And even New Jersey. New Jersey's at 46 points right there, all clumped together. Right now, Carolina's the class of the division.
Yeah, it is. It's a big clump. It's a big
It is.
clump in that.
Like the Metro, man. There's so many. There's good teams there in the Metro. So man, you have to be on your game every night. Otherwise, you could be screwed.
Here's one for you, Mike. I didn't realize I was reading a couple things yesterday about the Penguins. Now, Sidney Crosby's 35 years old.
Hmm.
Mario Lemieux was 35 when he had his comeback.
Yes. And
You
that
know,
was what the 22nd anniversary. Wasn't
don't
it
you?
last year?
Is that? Yeah, I think it was because it was in 2000, correct?
Yep. Yeah, December 27th, 2000.
So he was 35, and of course, he went through a lot more. He had
Yes.
cancer and all these things, but um, Lemieux seemed like he, thinking back, watching that comeback and that game and the games after, he seemed a lot older than 35
He
compared to
did.
Crosby's 35. Am I right on that?
He does. Yeah, cuz my god, he had the Hodgkins, he had the back problems.
Yeah.
It was just one thing after the next one. Didn't he have like the hip problem at that point as well? I can't remember.
He had
The
all
hip
kind of
was there or a little
problems.
bit later.
But
But like
you see Crosby hit that ice and he just goes flying like he always did. I mean, he's still, very, very much the player that he's always been. I don't think
yeah.
if there's even a fall off at all, it's not that much. But like I said, when you see his 35-year-old body skating around the ice and you think back to Mario Lemieux's 35-year-old body, it just seems like two totally different 35-year-old
Yeah.
people, you know what I mean?
Like, he in that season, he scored, 76 points in 43 games.
Yes, yes, he
I was
did,
reading an
man.
article, this was, God, from a few years ago. When was I can't find a date on this article. From 2017, they did, like, adjustments and everything. If he would have put up those points total in that point, he would have had, like, over 100 and some odd points that season.
Yeah,
It it was insane. The way Lemieux played, it was just insane. If he played a full 82 game season, he would have had 144 points. And then you adjusted for the way points went in 2017, he would add 156.
yeah,
This Lemieux was on a different level, even though his body at that age was beaten down. Like, you remember, like, he had to have people lace up his boots to go out and play. That's how bad his
yeah,
back was. You know, people
yeah,
forget
so
that, man. He if he was healthy and he was on those teams that, like, Gretzky played in Edmonton, it would have been no clue. It would not even be close. Lemieux would have just dominated. It would be Lemieux and then everyone else in the record books.
right.
Not even close. Dude is a freak. And Crosby, step your game up.
Fucking slacker.
Fucking slacker. Come on, Lemieux had like 5 comebacks by this point. You have none.
Yeah, so
It's insane, man.
but if you do, you wanna watch some Penguins, get back into it, they're back at it tonight against the Red Wings at home at 7:30. Mike, big news out of the football world, some Steeler news that I know that you will go on and on and on and on about. Cam Hayward, AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Yes, you can tell it was not a playoff game because Clam Hayward stepped it up, boys and girls. He stepped it up. He played the way that everyone thinks he plays every single game. This game that he can retire on this game. Anyone ever talks bad about Cam, they're going to point to this game and this game only to say why he was the greatest Steeler of all time.
Now, here's the thing about Cam, Mike. Now, this game, he
He
performed really
dominated.
well,
I'll give it to him. Fuck yeah, man.
and
Credit where credit's
this
due.
will be the second game this year, I would say, and I'm thinking back to the week 1 against the Bengals
Mhm.
in this game here, week 16.
Yeah, I think week 15 he played pretty well too.
He had 2 games where he was the player that he
Yeah.
promoted himself to be all
Mhm.
off
Yeah,
season,
yeah.
and Aaron Donald and myself, nobody else. It's us
Mhm.
2 and then everybody else. So, he finally plays that game. Now the whole entire world must have forgot the last 4 months because the Western Pennsylvania is putting him back on that pedestal,
Mhm.
going crazy. He's defensive player of the week.
Mhm.
They're going on and on how great
Yes.
Cam is. So what? It takes one good game. You have one good game, and then it wasn't even a monster. I mean, it was a good game for what he is. It wasn't this monster game. And like I said, the way that he talks and comes off, and the way people think that he is and performs, you would think that this is standard. This game they came out
Yeah.
yesterday, and granted, you're not going to get a couple sacks every game. I know that, but like I said, if you go back and watch this season, I think week 1, week 16, and then Mike says last week as well, I think were the 3 games that he earned his money.
Mhm.
Mike Cam did come out and say, I vowed to myself that we were not going to lose. I made sure we beat the Raiders.
Did he literally say, "I made sure we beat the Raiders"?
Um, yeah, well, it says we made sure we beat the Raiders, but
Yeah.
he's included in that. But the thing about him is, why can't you do that any other time?
Because it wasn't a primetime game and he didn't get all the attention before the game, but coming out with the flag by himself. Like this. Mm,
See, Mike, let me
yeah.
read that one more time, please.
Yeah.
Vowed to myself that we weren't going to
Mhm.
lose. Made sure that we beat the Raiders. Now think about that. Can't you vow to yourself, maybe in other games also, that you're not going to lose when you
Yeah.
were losing 17-14 against the Patriots? And here's
Mhm.
the thing: I'm not even going to throw in Philadelphia, Buffalo, and the Miami, even though Miami was close. But let's just talk about the Jets 24-20. Let's talk about the Patriots 17-14. And if you would have won one of these games, this playoff thing would be a whole different story. But anyway,
Yeah.
you couldn't have you couldn't have vowed to yourself
Mhm.
that you weren't going to lose. See what I'm saying? How
Yeah.
fucking crazy!
The
with
this
this clam.
Yeah, the Steelers have won 3 playoff games since Cam has been a starter. 3. They have won 3 since he's been a starter.
I didn't
In
even
one of
knew
those
they
years,
won 3.
2016 in 2016, they won 2 games. He did not play in any of those games. This man has 7 games, or yeah, he's played in 7 playoff games for a grand total of 13 tackles, 3 assists, 1 tackle for a loss, 1
Wh
sack.
why does it take
This man is not who you people think he is. He's
what
not
Mike,
good.
why does he have to wait till somebody dies? Or wait till the immaculate
Yeah,
reception? I mean, if this is what he's gonna do, we got another 50 years because,
I know.
you
It's
know, we
like Cam used to be one of my all-time favorite players until it was in the playoffs. I watched him get beat up, moved around, and I was like, "No, who is this guy? Who is he?" And then it's just been that way ever since. Like big games, he tends to just disappear in, but in games where okay, you kind of need to win, he'll show up every once in a while. Like this, don't get me wrong. It was a great defensive performance. Fuck yeah, I was all pumped that he was out there doing it because he's on my team, and I want the team to win. If Cam has to play well for the team to win, fuck yeah, I'll sit there and eat my medicine on that shit. But he can't do this game in game out, season in, season out. Like in big pressure games. Look at this playoffs, playoffs, playoffs. Nothing. In the year that he played 2 playoff games, he had 1 tackle, 1 tackle, 1, 1 tackle.
so what do we gotta do? We have to
We
I mean,
we've won
well,
like we've won 3 games since he became a starter, since he became people want to say he's a Pittsburgh legend. He's a Pittsburgh legend. Back in my day, Pittsburgh legends won championships.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Like,
Cam Hayward,
do I think Le'Veon Bell is probably the best running back I've seen playing with the Steelers? Yes, but is he a legend? No. Why? Didn't win a Super Bowl. AB is the best receiver I've seen play in the Steelers uniform. Legend? No. Didn't win a Super Bowl. Pouncey's one of the best centers I've ever seen play. He's up there with, Dawson, Webster, Ray Mansfield. Difference is those guys won championships. Pouncey didn't. Can't make him a legend. Cam Hayward, would he have fit in on that D line in the 70s? Probably. But I'm sorry, those guys are legends. Why? They won 4 Super Bowls. You've won 3 playoff games. In the 1 year we won 2, you didn't play. So really, you won 1 playoff game.
you know,
He's the most frustrating
he's
Steeler I've
average
seen
at
in my
best.
entire career
And
because
I'm
he
gonna
is
say
so
this
damn
with
good.
confidence.
He has the potential to
He
be one of the
doesn't,
best of
like,
all time, and it
you
just
know why he
disappears.
doesn't? Because, overall and large, when you look at his numbers and his performance, he's not great. He's average at best. And why I'm gonna say average at best, because there's many games when not much gets accomplished by Cam at all. So
Like he
let's
has
just say
76 sacks on his career. That's not
let's
bad for a
just say
3-4 DN, but
how many years has he been here? I mean, crying, he should have 100 sacks.
he's played. Yeah, this is what year 12 or something.
12. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I mean,
Yeah,
you look at his really good games, but it always gets equaled out
yeah,
by 2 or 3 games
yeah. Like
that
you will
really
have
is
dominant
nothing.
games, yeah, where their stats are crazy, but then nothing for like a wasteland.
I'm not gonna be talking about him for years and years. I mean, not
No,
in the
but somehow he's the legend in Pittsburgh. Yeah, he does fucking great work off the field. Fuck yeah. I commend him for that. We talked about that the other day. It's amazing what he does off the
he's
field.
the
But on the
Charlie
field,
Batch of his time.
Charlie, yeah, I think Charlie Batch came in and proved clutch when we needed him. Came like I'm sorry, I still have visions of him being run over against the Jaguars in the playoff game. They last year Cincinnati they ran over they just okay every game we're just gonna 1-on-1 you're getting your ass blocked downfield. The Lions when we needed that win when Mason came in and we should have won the game. Cam's getting blocked 35 yards down the field 1-on-1. He disappears in games where he should dominate. It's
So,
frustrating. It's so frustrating. He is just so frustrating for me because he has the potential to be one of the most dominant defensive players, but it comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes.
however,
And then he can
Michael,
see excuses like, "Oh, well, he's a 3-4 DN. They should be occupying the guards in the center." Well, then why? How come like everyone's bitching about our middle linebackers not being able to get off blocks? Maybe our DNs and our D tackles should be eating the people up front like they're supposed to, and they're not.
I think that we have something going in our favor this
Hmm.
weekend with Cam
So
Hayward
frustrating.
against the Ravens because and yes, this is against a team that ran all over us 3 weeks
It's
ago,
prime time though.
but the guys are vowing to not let that happen again. I know
Mhm.
Coach Tomlin said that that was a bad day, it was a bad game, which
Mhm.
I don't really, know if I agree entirely because we've seen this a lot all season long with with the run defense
Yeah.
and the but Mike, we do have something going in our favor for this game. Unfortunately, John Rooney, the youngest son of Art Rooney, passed away at 84.
Oh,
So
wow. Oh, come on now.
so
That's
if
wrong.
we go by the same logic that Cram used last week for the we vowed to myself not to
Mhm.
lose and we were gonna make sure we beat them. Why can't we take and apply this same situation for Clam so he could vow because this guy's a Rooney. Um,
Terrible.
why don't we vow to win this game? We're not gonna lose this game. What see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what makes me thinks about makes me think about what he's saying
Yeah.
and peel back the layers.
Yep.
It
I
it's
see what you're
it's
saying.
it's PR bullshit. I wanna
Mhm.
see Cam come out and do what he did last week when he was
Mhm.
playing against the lowly Raiders,
Yeah.
against the division rival, a team that's fighting for the division, a team that's, better than the
Yeah.
Raiders. I wanna see you come out and vow to yourself that we're not gonna lose this game, because if
Yeah.
what you said last week wasn't, PR bullshit being blown up our ass, then that should hold true, and you should be able to get into that emotional
Yeah.
mode again and come out and do whatever it takes to win this football game.
Yeah.
So I'm personally going to be keeping an eye on that to see,
Yeah.
you know,
Like, how about Cam say, "Hey, we're not gonna lose this game because we don't have a losing record. We wanna
yeah,
try to, we need to win. We're gonna win the go out there, make sure, we as a defense are gonna make sure we go out there and not lose this game so we can still be in position to have a playoff spot, or we're gonna go out there and not lose this game for personal fucking pride."
yeah.
How about that? How about that as a reason to go out there and win a game, to play with this mind out of your mind? Do it for personal pride. Do it for your coach. Do it for your teammates. Do it for yourself. He is just
So
and the fans and the media just eat this shit up.
the Steelers have to beat the
Mhm.
Ravens, of course, also this weekend. Starting tomorrow, Mike. Starting tomorrow, Thursday night football. The Titans and the Cowboys play. I believe that the Titans still have some kind of significance in this whole thing for our playoff chase, but
Um,
I
oh,
do believe that
I think for the AFC South, not to cut you off, but it's them and the Jaguars. They're just playing for like whoever wins out of them. Like the AFC South, I don't think they're going to be in the wild card picture. It's either they're in or they're out.
I you know what that was what I said too. And yesterday I was going back and forth with somebody after a post on the social media, and they brought some information that says because the Titans have the same information. See, here's what I got. The information that I have is this, and then I'll explain
Uh
what
huh.
I got about the
Yeah.
Titans. So of course we have to beat the Ravens.
Yeah.
The Seahawks have to beat the Jets, which I think is totally possible.
Mm-hmm.
And if Tua doesn't play down in Miami, well, it's going to be up in Gillette Stadium. If he
Yeah.
doesn't play up in New England, then the Patriots need to beat the Dolphins, which I think is doable.
Yes.
So I was talking about this amongst other people on social media, and a gentleman says, "Well, that's not all. Since the Titans have the same record, we don't have to worry about the Jaguars, even though they both have the same record. They're both
Mm-hmm.
fighting for the division, conference wins and losses. We are either tied or something with the Titans,
Yeah.
and them being playing Dallas tomorrow is beneficial because I think that Dallas should win this game.
Yeah.
So let's just say I'm not real certain about the Titans. I've heard both ways. I don't know, but so those three things, those things have to happen. And let's just say that they do happen. We then go to next week, Mike, where the Steelers have to beat the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills have to beat the Patriots, which is, I think, easy because they're
Mm-hmm.
still going to be fighting for the number one home field advantage at
Yep.
that point.
Yep.
They're going to be on it. So the one game, if we squeeze out of this weekend, still alive in the playoff race, the one game I think that everybody's going to be watching is going to be the game down in Miami against the
Yep.
Jets. Uh, but here's the thing.
Come on.
Let's just say
Uh,
that the Dolphins, they let's just say they got a flat tire. Let's just
yeah.
say, I mean, they haven't been playing too great. They
Mm-hmm.
lost. You got Tua out. maybe, just maybe, this team that had a good start, like the 11-0 Steelers, maybe they fall flat at the end of the season, lose the last couple of games. Obviously, being the best case scenario for us because we would sneak into the playoffs at that point. If
Yeah.
all those things would happen, but the obviously the Dolphins games are going to be the big ones in my opinion. I think
Yep.
the Seahawks beat the Jets. If we can handle our business, it's going to come down to hopefully, hopefully we can make it through this week. If we get through
Hopefully,
one more
yeah.
week and we could still talk playoffs for another week and
Yeah.
keep it significant, then I'll
Keep
be
it going.
fine.
Keep it going. But this time of the year, man, I tell you what though, like our odds are small, but they're still greater than they were last year, and somehow we
Yeah,
snuck in.
and we snuck in. You're right.
Well,
And now we don't
hey,
have to. And now we don't have to depend on the Colts. So that's all done with.
yes,
I
we
hate
don't.
depending on the Colts.
Yeah, I
I
know,
hate it.
but now we got to depend on the Colts who don't know who their quarter. You know, they're gonna have Mike White, Joe Flacco, and Zach Wilson. I think it's benched for the year, so
Yeah,
it's
Zach
not
Wilson
boding
is
well
not
for.
coming back next year.
It's gonna.
Word is through the grapevine that Zach
Well,
Wilson will not be back with the
hey,
Jets
you know
next
what? It
year.
wouldn't surprise me. He has not shown any improvement from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah. Mike, yesterday was a big day, a big day, a big day. It was the happy birthday to the Terrible Towel. 47 years old, Mike. The
Wow.
Terrible Towel's birthday was yesterday. Yes.
It's now the most, copied gimmick in all of sports. When
Definitely the most iconic.
most iconic, and my God, everywhere places you go now, they hand out like promotion. Like, get your towel and wave your towel. Like,
Mhm.
no, that all started, man, with the terrible towel.
Absolutely. And it stuck around this long. You know what I mean? It's amazing that it stuck around this long.
Yeah, it's iconic.
It is iconic. There's never going to be another game for the
Eh,
rest of history that people
yeah,
don't show up to the home football games in Pittsburgh without their Terrible Towels. I love
it,
it.
it's an easy identifier that you're a Steeler fan. You don't have to wear a big cheese head. You can just pull that thing, open up your pocket, pull it out, and start waving it around. It's
Yeah.
just it's how Steeler fans recognize each
And when you
other.
wear it
Like
like out
it's
of your
like
back pocket, it kind of looks cool.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's
It's just an easy identifier for us, and you can tell. When Steeler fans are when you see that towel taking over your stadium,
yeah.
just the
It's so
whole
empowering for Steeler fans and
yeah,
Steelers, and I
yeah.
when I see that, it's like, wow, look
Like
how
when the
cool.
players, like my God, like when we took over San Diego or we took over Jacksonville and all these places, and the players are on the sidelines. They're looking around like, man, all these terrible. Are we at home?
Right.
Is this a home game? And
And then,
like
like home, you
they
don't wanna
love it.
let your fans down, you know what I mean? Even though you're
Yeah.
in Arizona
Hmm.
or San Diego, like you
Yeah.
said, you don't wanna let your fans down, and you look around, you see all them terrible towels, you get that
Yeah.
feeling that, like, you're at
Like,
home. I don't
yeah,
wanna let these guys
yeah,
down.
yeah. It's like this that extra visual, and you can hear like they're cheering. Oh, that's cool, but you see everything, all the towels twirling in unison, and yeah,
Yeah.
oh, it's one
Mike.
of the few things that still gets me going and as a fan anymore. Is like I've become so morose and just doom and gloom with all my sports teams. But like I see the terrible towel for the Steeler game, or like the Penn State whiteout, everyone in white hopping up and down, doing their white towel. It just gets me going. I don't know. There's just something about it. Something about the terrible towel.
Marcus Allen, Mike, is now on IR. We spoke about it briefly
Yes.
the other day. Marcus Allen, of course, he had the big penalty the other week for entering
Uh huh.
the huddle of the opposing team,
He
getting the
got
big
hurt on the
penalty.
field.
Yeah,
They take
yeah,
him out back, beat him with a rubber hose.
yes, like on
It's
what
like
was
Super
on Full
Troopers.
Metal Jacket
Oh
when
yeah,
they
super. Yeah, they beat
put
him with the
soap in the
soap.
socks. I
Yeah.
bet you they beat the shit out of him.
Uh huh.
But that also, Mike, it does it swings the door open, obviously, for some Mark Robinson action. And also, Mike, there's a couple other things that are going on as far as people signed. The Steelers signed linebacker um,
Crowder.
Tay Crowder from the
Yes.
Giants practice squad.
Former Mr. Irrelevant.
Yes, yes, Tay Crowder. And also, they signed safety Scott Nelson to the practice squad as
Yeah.
well. So, a
Yeah,
couple
because we
roster
lost.
moves there.
We lost Josh Jackson. Dawson's Creek buddy Joshua Jackson was signed by shoot, I can't remember who, but they signed him off our practice squad.
Yeah, yeah, I don't
I
recall
can't
who.
remember the team. I want to say the Chiefs, but I'm not 100% sure it was the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But
Yeah, it was a team that like kind of caught my eye. I was like, oh wow.
yeah. Um, oh, Mike, real quick before I forget today.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what
Oh
I can
God.
me see what I can do.
I can't wait to hear what this is.
No, I said hump everything.
Obviously, a big part of our Wednesday show.
Yes. It was Arizona Cardinals.
It was the Cardinals. Yes, you're right. A couple things, Mike. I did find out the Steelers now with 17 interceptions in 2022.
Yes.
Get this, everybody. Steelers with 17 interceptions in 2022, which is the most. Let me say that one more time. The most in the NFL.
That's
so
insane.
Next time we start bad mouthing these corners, which we will.
Oh, yeah, we will. It won't stop
in the secondary, in the defensive backfield. Just remember, as of right now, with the 17 interceptions, Mike, 17 interceptions, they lead. That's the most in the NFL. Explain that to me, please.
I don't.
When did this happen?
It just slowly, just out of nowhere, it just keeps happening. Like we're seeing pick after pick after pick after pick for the Steelers. And hold on here, I'm pulling up the stats real quick.
It's really
who all has
Mike. It's really big, and what's keeping the Steelers alive, if you think about it.
Right?
You take away these timely picks in the last 4 or 5 weeks. That plays big in where we're at.
Minka with 5, Levi Wallace and Cam Sutton 3 apiece, TJ Watt with 2, Arthur Millette with 1, Kazee 1, Akilo Witherspoon 1, and James Pierre 1. So it's about like the usual suspects, especially for Minka, Levi, and Cam Sutton. Like those were the guys that you thought would.
Like interceptions really fell by the wayside over the past few years with this team, and just they weren't there, especially the timely ones, the timely interceptions this season, Mike. It's gone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is like Minka last year. Like his production for like interceptions, I believe, dropped. And I just want to pull that up real quick to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. Which,
even if you're sitting with 5, I mean, geez,
Yeah. Oh my God, I am like half stupid here. There you go. Last year he had 4 last year. No, he had 2 last year too. Excuse me. So people are like, "Oh my God, what happened to Minka?" Well, God, man, our corners were not that great last year, so he was having to go be here, there, everywhere. Now, like Sutton and Levi Wallace, we've given up a lot of yards early in the year, but those two seem to have settled down the second half. Yeah, competition's got easier, but they're playing at a very high, very, very good level. So now it's like Minka's not having to cover, deep. Now he can come in and play smarter, play aggressive football, and be that guy who Johnny on the spot with the ball. We saw that last week, man. The deflection off the receiver, and who's right there? Minka. He's able to be more aggressive this year.
He's one of them guys that always seem to be in the right place. And then it's whenever he's doing it very well is when it comes off as just being a phenomenal, one of the best safeties in the league. He's, and that's what makes that. You find them guys. Ed Reed was one of them guys.
Yeah.
There's just guys that are always in the right place at the right time. You hate it if it's the opposing team.
But when he's your guy, you love it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Mike, also another interesting one that I got here. George Pickens has the most contested catches in a season by a rookie since 2016, which was at that point DK Metcalf.
Oh wow, I'm telling you, that's not bad company right there.
When George Pickens, when the ball's thrown to him, it's like the defender's not even there sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, there's no regard for the defense. He makes the catch. At one time, I think I even seen him stick his arm through the player like a glitch on a video game and caught the ball.
Yeah, this is what we thought Chase Claypool was going to be.
Yes.
So George is playing like he fights for the ball the way, like if Claypool fought for the ball the way George does. My God, if we would have had both of those guys playing that way, lights out. It would have been nuts on this offense, but George is, man, he's a physical receiver, and he's not afraid to get dirty and fight for the ball, and you love to see it. He's always attacking the ball. Very rarely do you see him like falling away from the ball, unless he already started that way and it was like a bad throw or tip ball or just didn't go the way he thought it was going to be. Very rarely out of position on those balls, and he was also I don't know if you have it down too. He is, I believe, third in for catches over 20 yards.
Yes.
Like balls thrown over 20 yards in the air or something like that. It's like Tyreek Hill, another speedster, and I believe him.
Yeah, man.
Well, we found a good one.
I tell you what, it was driving me nuts last year and even earlier this year. And you had your 1 and 2 guy who were Johnson and Claypool, and
Yeah.
Johnson was running backwards, and Claypool was falling away
Yeah.
from, that how frustrating. So it is
Yeah.
nice to get George in there, get it going in the right
Yeah.
direction.
I think if George can keep playing the way he's playing, I actually think that's going to help Deontay's play. You know what I mean? Because he's going to see someone else. Okay, this kid's elevating his game. Okay, I got to step it up too to match him. Now I think he has someone to help push him along. To
See,
like,
this is
hey,
what I'm
we have
saying. Why
something
can't
going
these
here.
guys like
So
motivate
you know how it
themselves?
is, though. Like
I mean, with Cam, he had to be motivated by death.
Yeah.
Deontay needs to be motivated by somebody. Why can't these people motivate themselves? Why
You can't. It happens in all walks of life, though, in all professions, and in every sports league too. You see guys like you have all the talent in the world. Why can't you just do it? And then you have other guys who's just like comes effortlessly to them. Like
I want them guys.
Aaron
I want the
Donald, like Sidney
effortlessly
Crosby.
guys.
Like just comes natural to them. Like everyone's different.
I'm tired of these guys that have to really work it up to get there. I just want a guy who plays the game well and like Minka Fitzpatrick. You know what I mean?
I get it. But different people, man, react differently. They need different motivations.
Yeah,
different.
I don't like that.
Here I am trying to be like uplifting him for once and say, hey, maybe this is what our guys need to get better. And you're like, fuck them. I'm supposed to be the sour and dour one.
Finally, the last piece that I have for the Steelers this morning, Mike. There have been zero assistants move on from Mike Tomlin to go coach somewhere, get a head coaching job, any of these important jobs. Why has there been such a lack?
I'm sorry, that's an overrated thing for me. Look at Bill Belichick's staff. Romeo Crennel, bust. Who was the other?
It doesn't matter.
Charlie.
Nobody's even interested in the guys that we have. I mean, come on.
Charlie Weiss, bust.
Again,
Mike McDaniels.
That's not what I'm talking about.
No, I'm comparing it too because people want to talk about his coaching tree.
He has none.
Well,
none.
Yeah,
no
look at
coaches.
Belichick. So the Belichick doesn't have a coaching tree either. Why does it only matter to about Tomlin?
Well, no, because this is our team. Listen. You're taking this way out of control, way out of proportion.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Listen,
I'm comparing it to one of his contemporaries to why it doesn't.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about nobody's even interested. It isn't like that Weiss went somewhere and he had a bad
our
career.
offensive line coach went to Northwestern to coach. We have
no, I'm talking about Mike real
Russ
jobs,
Grimm
NFL.
went somewhere else to coach. Oh wait, Russ Grimm was under Cowher. Yeah, hold on.
We're what people ain't knocking down. What's this idiot's name that we have now? I try to push him so far to my mind I can't think of his name. Coach Canada.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I don't even know who his coaches
I can't imagine
were.
There's a high school coach out there, a high school team that would want Coach Canada.
Well, Dick LeBeau went somewhere else.
Dick LeBeau was originally a Cowher guy.
He was coaching before.
I'm just going by the stat that I've written down. I'm not trying to have it.
Oh, I know, but I hear
any
Mark
interest.
Madden,
Nobody's
settle down, Mark Madden.
At the end of the season, saying, you know what, I have to have this guy. This coach was so good at doing his job. We haven't really had great assistant coaches in a long time, Mike.
So that doesn't mean anything. They don't need to be great. It doesn't mean to be great.
Well, we haven't won a playoff game in forever. We haven't been.
We haven't won a playoff because the defense collapses or the offense collapses. That's on the players. That's on the players for not performing.
Mike, we had a Hall of Fame quarter, but we had the best running back in the league. We had the best receiver in the league. We had
and they all choked it away. Bent through interceptions. The defense gave up yards. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to do with coaching. It has to do with the players on the field. It does have to do with
coaching.
Coaches coach, players play. The players can't execute. It's on the players. So
the Hall of Fame fifth best passer of all time couldn't execute.
Yes, yes. How many games? Like every time we played the Panthers in the playoffs, how many times did he throw to Rasheed Mathis for a pick six? All the fucking time. Ben lost playoff games. The defense lost playoff games. It happens. It's okay to say the players fucked up.
Oh, I say the players fucked up all the time.
Ben lost that game against Cleveland. We lost. That was on the offense. The game we lost against Kansas City. That was on the offense.
So you're saying we've had
points.
So what you're telling me is we've had really good coaches all this time, and the players been shitting it away. That's what.
So we had a really good head coach, and the players who are out there playing failed to execute in
See,
their
I think
roles.
you're wrong. I don't think that for 11 years now that the players were the problem. I
They
think that
were.
we've had
They
Hall
were.
of
They were
Famers
like
come through. I think
Cam
that we've had
Hayward.
really good players. I think we've had really good seasons, but we've never had people come knocking at the door for any of our coaches because of how
I
impressive
don't
they've
give a
been.
that means checking. Fuck all to me. I don't care if a
But
player
that's
moves
not
on to be a
that.
head coach in the NFL. Well, maybe they've gone on to college to coach there, or does that not matter?
That's a different business. It's
No,
a
it's the same
different
thing. A
beast.
football coach is a football coach.
No, it's Mike. It's come on.
I'm
You
sorry.
can't
Well,
put Steve
Charlie Whisenhunt,
Spurrier in the
Romeo
pros.
Crennel moved on from Belichick's staff, and they fucking sucked in the NFL. But no one's
Again,
bitching about that.
that's your
No,
see,
no, I'm comparing apples to apples here. I am making a valid comparison. A
and that
valid comparison.
no, Mike, you're not because you're not listening.
Yes, I am. You're trying to say Tomlin is a bad head coach because he
No,
does
no,
not
no,
have a
whoa,
coaching
whoa.
tree.
See, here's again. You're listen. Stop. Hold on. Let me start all over because I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So these good Patriot teams over the years, you have impressive offenses, impressive defenses. Wow, look what this guy's doing with the offense. Look what this guy's doing with the defense. If this guy at the end of the season is available, let's offer him money. Let's offer him a job. Okay. Because of the work that they do, because the offense was good for 20 years and the defense was above average. Not anyone, Mike. No one is drawing the interest of any teams. And again, the after the fact, the Romeo Crennel after he went to Cleveland, Charlie Weiss after that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking about why is there no interest at all in Steeler assistant coaches for the past decade, at least?
Because Todd Haley, people saw him just as an offensive coordinator. And here's the trump card. Bruce motherfucking Arians was on his coaching staff. The Steelers forced him out because he didn't want to change his play calling.
What year did Arians leave?
And then he goes and wins a fucking Super Bowl. Bruce Arians. Mic drop.
What year did he leave, Mike?
Right before we brought in
here, let me look it up real quick.
What's
Bruce
his name?
Arians.
Todd Haley. We brought in Todd Haley because Bruce Arians wanted to chuck it deep with Ben, and they said no.
Because Bruce Arians was one of my favorite coordinators. Let me
The Roonies forced him out because he
real quick, Mike.
Changed his play calling to protect
Bruce Arians,
Ben, and then boom. He won a fucking Super Bowl.
Who did he win?
Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians. That's all Mike Tomlin needs. His former offensive coordinator went on to win a Super Bowl. Case closed.
Hold on, I'm still looking up his year because I think you're wrong.
No. Oh man, I am just amazing.
You're really not. Let's see.
I am amazing.
Bruce Arians.
He was let go after 2000.
Oh, he came back, Mike. He was a receivers coach.
That doesn't matter. He was just a receivers coach. He was a receivers coach. A receivers coach.
Then the next
Tomlin
year,
made him the offensive coordinator. Tomlin made him the
not his guy. That's not Mike.
He elevated him. Cowher did not. Cowher kept him down. Cowher kept him down. Tomlin elevated him.
04, mic drop. 04. He was a Cowher coach.
In 07, he was promoted to offensive coordinator.
This. I'm looking right at it.
Tomlin elevated him. Tomlin elevated him. Tomlin elevated him. Tomlin elevated him.
And you know that you're wrong.
No, because I know I'm right. Because Tomlin elevated him.
Mike,
Tomlin made him the offensive coordinator.
Right now, and I'm going to prove that you're wrong. Go ahead, pull it up.
Tomlin made him the offensive coordinator.
Pull it up. I want to prove that you're wrong.
Tomlin made him the offensive
coordinator. See where it says 04? That means he's the Cowher guy.
Oh, of course, Tomlin. It's never anything that Tomlin does.
Mike, look at the year. Mike, it's not conspiracy theories.
Tomlin never did anything.
Tomlin
never did anything for Pittsburgh.
Take your aluminum foil hat off because
it was all Ben and all Cowher. Tomlin did nothing. Okay.
Take your aluminum foil hat off for once and look. 04. The last time I checked, Mike Tomlin was not on this coaching staff in 04. Please.
In 07, he was promoted.
But he was already a coach on this team, right?
He was already a coach, but he was on an offensive coordinator.
Mike drop.
Yeah,
Let me find me a mic because I'm gonna drop it.
Tomlin took him
It
from
doesn't
Cowers
matter.
and said,
It
"You know
doesn't
what?
matter.
You were underappreciated and underused under the former guy. I'm gonna elevate you." And he did. He elevated him
He
to offensive
elevated a
coordinator.
guy that was hired under Cowher because they knew his ability. He wasn't
Because
hired
because
under
Tomlin
Tomlin.
Tomlin recognized his ability. He
Mike,
knew he was a
it's
better
written in
offensive
black and
coordinator
white.
than
I'm
Mike
not going to argue
Wisenhunt.
that people can
He
look
knew
it
he
up
was a better
themselves.
coordinator than Wisenhunt.
2004.
Cowher held his team back. Cowher held his team back by keeping Ken Wisenhunt.
Cowher, you're so full of shit. Cowher didn't hold nothing back. Every year,
Yes, he
Cowher.
did. Cowher underproduced vastly in his career. Vastly in his career, he underproduced.
Oh fuck! What happened?
Yeah. See, even your camera knows. Even your cameras know. Oh God. Oh God. Why are you staring at me like that? But no.
Dude, Cowher did not You're fucking crazy.
Yes, he did. He underproduced year after year. He'd
Yeah,
have
he
these
did
great
not, dude.
defenses, these
You're
good enough
fucking out.
offenses.
You're out of your
He was
mind.
not.
That
No,
is
he
the
was not
stupidest
good.
thing. That is the stupidest thing
He
that
had
anybody could ever
Cordell Stewart was
say.
a damn good quarterback, and he never wanted to use him. And I don't know why. I wonder
Wait,
what
who?
the difference between Cordell Stewart
Because he was way ahead of his time. Because
he was way ahead of his
was
time.
Michael
And
Vick
what
Vick
what
winning
was the difference
championships?
between
No,
Cordell
because that type
Stewart
of
and
quarterback was
Kent
not winning.
Graham
That
and Mike
type of quarterback was
Tomczak
not ready
and
for this
Jim
league.
Miller?
That
What was the
quarterback was
difference?
proven over and over and over until about 5 years ago was not ready for this league. And Michael Vick didn't win a championship. No, Cordell Stewart didn't win a championship, or anybody like that kind of quarterback did not win anything.
He had Hall of Fame defenses, legendary defenses, and he couldn't do shit with them. He
won a couple. He won
underperformed.
a Super Bowl, and he pretty much gave Tomlin his Super Bowl win. So
No,
yeah,
he
he
did
did it.
not. Tom,
Oh yeah, he
the
did.
team that won 8-8 that barely did anything after Cowher had
Like
one
Tomlin's
good year.
great team
He had
this
one
year.
good
Yeah,
run. He had
pretty
one
much.
good run.
Listen,
He had one good
Mike
run.
Bill Cowher, bullshit.
They are the same.
He
they are
has
the
less
same head coach.
losses than Mike Tomlin, and he was here for less time. Come
And
on,
Tomlin never
the only
lost.
one that's
Tomlin
underachieving
never had a
is
losing
Mike
season.
Tomlin.
Cowher had
Mike
three of them,
Tomlin
two
has
back
been
to
the only
back.
one who the team has gone down every year. This team hasn't won a playoff game in how many years?
Oh,
Bill Cowher's teams
Cowher had
never
losing
went that.
seasons.
Listen, Bill Cowher's teams never
season.
went that amount of time without winning a preseason game. That tells me
preseason game. Who gives a fuck about the preseason?
Well, you are pro season. I'm talking playoffs. He never went that amount of time that Tomlin went without winning a postseason game.
Yeah, because his
that tells me that he would be better at coaching because his team won more in the playoffs. Am I wrong?
They both had the same amount of playoff wins or Super Bowl wins. They had the same record in the Super Bowl.
Let's watch Tomlin build his team up and win a Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying. It's not going to happen. That team was built from day one to be a Bill Cowher team all the way until they won the Super Bowl, until he handed it over. Were all players that Bill Cowher built that team with.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize Lamar Woodley and Lawrence Timmons were
okay, they did real good, Mike. Guys. Yeah, Lamar Woodley did fantastic. He was a great linebacker.
Actually, he did. He had the game-winning sack.
I don't even know what game we're talking about. That's how irrelevant it is. Yeah, what game, Mike? Lamar, what game is this?
The Super Bowl on the comeback when the defense when Polamalu, fucking Bill Cowher guy, almost choked it away like he choked away the fucking second Super Bowl.
Yeah,
because he can't cover a tight end.
Antonio Holmes was Bill Cowher's last pick. Ben Roethlisberger was his quarterback, and I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it finally took Cowher, a Hall of Fame quarterback, to actually do something. Funny how that works. Funny how that works. Say, Andy Reid's the same way. Doesn't win anything, but gets a Hall of Fame quarterback, and all of a sudden he's the greatest head coach.
Andy Reid's one of the best coaches ever.
No, he's not. He choked away how many of those years in Philly?
Mike,
he choked
away look at his record. He's an unbelievable.
Look at his playoff record. He sucks in the playoffs. He loses big games. He loses all the time.
Mike, only one team wins a Super Bowl every year. So in 10 years, only 10 teams. So
yeah. But we can't apply that to Mike Tomlin. We can't apply that to Mike Tomlin.
Because Mike Tomlin, dude.
Oh.
If you would watch, here's the thing: you must not have watched the process, because there was a process that happened when Coach Cowher took over. Every year they got a little bit better. Every year they got a little bit better. Every year they got a little bit better. Then they went to the Super Bowl, lost. Then they got a little bit better. They had a couple down years. They got a little bit better. They got a little bit better, and then they won a Super Bowl. Mike, listen. You're not listening. And what Tomlin, his teams aren't getting better. I don't want to compare it, because that's what always seems to start an argument. I just need people to understand, why aren't Tomlin's teams ever improving? Is what I'm asking.
They do improve.
Mike, they've been stagnant for 10 years. These teams have been stagnant.
Because am I wrong? Players fuck it up in the playoffs because they mess it up in the playoffs.
A good coach would win more games. Is all I'm saying. A better coach would win more games.
Belichick. Belichick's like the only one. It's like Belichick, and then you have like that whole thing with like Tomlin and Andy Reid all in that area.
I don't even think he's as good as Andy Reid.
He's as good as Andy Reid. Andy
Ain't
Reid
no
has
way.
had
Go look at their
losing
record.
seasons.
Ain't no way.
Andy Reid didn't do anything until we had
How many
Andy Reid.
championship
But
games has
take
Andy
away
Reid had
Donovan
his teams
McNabb
in?
and take away Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid's nothing. I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
look at
I
Bill
mean,
Belichick.
that's
What
the
does
team he's
Belichick
coaching. I don't know what you want
does
me to
Belichick
say.
won without Tom Brady? Look at the team now that Tom Brady's gone. Look how fast that team is falling apart.
Yeah, and Tom Brady's falling apart where he's at too. So I mean,
He's doing a lot better than New England.
what are
He
they
won. He
5
won one
and?
without Belichick. Belichick ain't won nothing since Brady left. That
Because
team's
Brady's
falling
the
apart
fucking
without him.
goat. You can't, JJ Watt. JJ Watt. We are only 10 minutes left in the show, Mike, so I do have to move
I
along.
love the transition.
As much as I love to sit here and argue with you all afternoon.
Me too. I can do this for another
JJ
4
Watt has
hours.
announced yesterday he's hanging it up, Mike. He's hanging it up. So everybody who has been hoping and wishing to see the
Yes, I love it.
triplets on the same team, that ain't gonna happen.
I love it. All
Which
these
I didn't
people
think
are
was gonna
crying
happen
now.
anyway.
No.
JJ Watt will be hanging it up after the season.
Eh.
Ravens,
Good player. I was
the
JJ was
Ravens
he was
to
a
me,
damn
Mike.
good player, but that whole I'm going into my cabin to work out, and people bought that hook, line, and sinker. It was a $3 million cabin that he was working out in. He was not Rocky Balboa. Dude's a fraud.
I wouldn't want to.
He does great charity work, so he's really not a
$3
fraud. But for that thing, he was a fraud.
Is it a $3 million thing?
Yeah,
good?
they showed his cabin in the woods, acting like he was living out in the wilderness. This thing was like more expensive than people's homes.
Was it out in the wilderness?
No, it was like it looked like in someone's backyards with a couple pine trees by it. Acting like he's
the Ravens,
Rocky
Mike. The
Balboa.
Ravens. Here's the thing about me with the Ravens and the Lamar Jackson situation.
He's
How could they
questionable now.
even not be talking about signing Lamar Jackson? I'm seeing a lot to the Ravens. They want to re-sign him. Even if they do, even if they're frustrated with some of his injury things, even if they are frustrated with his lack of winning the big games, I think for what he is and what you are, you got to kind of keep Lamar Jackson. You don't want him to go somewhere else, right?
He was a former league MVP. Give him some wide receivers who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
the thing that really caught my attention about him was the way he chokes away games in big situations, in the sense of he had butterfingers. Because I know in the game, especially against us, there was a couple fumbles that he shouldn't have had. And that's something that I've seen since then over and over and over. I didn't realize prior to, but now that I've seen he had those issues against us, I see that still kind of haunts him from time to time. And it could be a game that's on the line. And they do play a lot of close games for a guy being that good. But a couple of times I've seen games on the line, he dropped back and he go to hand the ball off to Dobbins or whatever, and he muffs up the handoff. Or, I've seen this over and over. I think it's something that you could fix. Again, if the player doesn't put the focus and the energy into fixing that, I mean, it'll make you pull your fucking hair out as a coach. But I think that the guy is certainly worth keeping. I can't imagine them not signing Lamar Jackson.
You know what? My advice to the Baltimore Ravens, give Lamar whatever he wants. Just give him, but dump that truck on there, because that's going to help the Steelers in the long run to eat up all that cap space. But I would try to find it like something try and work something out with them. Make a deal that works for both. Because my God, dude's a freak athlete. You give him some more weapons out there than Mark Andrews. Give him wide receivers more than he just give him better weapons around him in that passing game. And look out, they're so close. It's frustrating. Yeah, they're a rival. You don't want to see them do well, but at the same time, God, I love watching star players produce and put people around him so he can produce and be entertaining and help you win a game. My God, he's a former league MVP. Give him weapons. Give him weapons.
3 seasons ago was scary to me, because what they did was they would line up in the pistol, and he would have a guy beside him and he would have a guy behind him. And they would all start running real fast at the same time, kind of in the same direction.
Yeah.
And then they all split up and go 3 different ways, and they're all moving really fast, and you still don't know which of the guys have the ball.
Yeah.
That was scary, because it adds a whole nother element. That whole extra half a second where you're trying to figure out who has the ball, and it's not just between 2 guys; it was between 3 guys.
Yeah,
that puts you behind the 8 ball as a defensive player, because you're thinking, and a lot of times you need to react. And if you're thinking, that that slows you down. I thought that they were scary. I thought that he would have a Super Bowl championship by now, and I thought they would be dominating us by now. But none of those things are happening, Mike.
No, and He's so fucking talented. Put people around him. Like you have good running backs. You have
But you made a good
Dobbins is a
point.
good running back. Mark Andrews. You have they still have Gus Edwards. You have a pretty good offensive line. Just
And here's the thing, though, like you said earlier, they do need he's soaking up the money. And
yeah.
if you want to get those other players around him, at some point, is he going to make a Ben Roethlisberger move and take one for the team as far as his money goes? That's still yet to be seen. I don't know Lamar personally, but you
There's
know what?
ways to do that
Maybe,
to like keep restructuring contracts, move money around here and there. There's ways to be done to get your
yeah.
money.
I like it. I like the fact that he stinks. I like the fact that he's turning the ball over. I like the fact that he's injured. I
I don't
do.
like the fact that he's
Well,
injured. I'm
here's
just
the
gonna
thing,
throw
Mike.
that
I
out.
don't know the guy. And the only reason I do
That's
know him is
fair
because
enough.
he beats my team on the football field. So for that reason,
That's
I'm
true.
glad he's
That's
injured.
true. I'm
From
glad
one
he's
human being
hurt.
to another, not so much, but
Yeah.
for these reasons and these
Yeah,
reasons
that's fair.
only.
For football reasons, yeah. Yeah.
Joe
For
Burrow, Mike. Joe Burrow was not only the offensive player of the week this week in the AFC, but he also went a little bit over KP, Kenny F. and Pickett said by buying his offensive line, he bought every one of his linemen like a cruise. A
ooh,
cruise. So
I
who are we going to
like it.
block better for? The guy that gets us the backyard grill set, or the guy that sends us on the cruise? I like it. I like it. Of
I
course,
get the guy for the cruise. I saw that Jalen Hurts got all of his offensive lineman Louis Vuitton handbags.
oh wow.
Yeah, it's
I would have threw it right back at him. I want to purse.
well,
Get out
last
of
year he
here.
got him some kick-ass Jordans. So I like between Ketty and Joe Burrow, I'm gonna go Joe Burrow on this one. Give me the
Yeah, he
cruise.
gets the W on this one. No two
Yeah,
ways
he
about
does.
that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Kenny's still making rookie dollars, but
So
I
is Joe. So is Joe. Well,
is
I
he?
think Joe got that LSU money
I mean,
floating around still.
what's he been in the league? 2, 3 years?
It's year 3, so he's still in that rookie deal. But
Oh
I think
wow.
He got that LSU money.
Yeah, he
You know
gets
what I'm talking
bonus money
about?
and
You know what
shit.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about. He ain't got no pit money.
Ugh.
Poor Kenny got that pit money. He got like a coupon to get go.
Yeah. Speaking of Pitt, Mike, Pitt, Friday. I'm sorry, 2 o'clock p.m. is the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl between the Pitt Panthers and UCLA. If you want to tune in and watch Nick Patty's last game as starting quarterback at Pitt in the bowl games, tune in 2 o'clock. That's on Friday.
The bowl quarterback for Pitt.
Yeah, he
I
made
just
his
love that.
college career out of
I
playing the
love that.
bowl game.
What do you do for Pitt, man? I'm just their bowl quarterback.
I hate this.
I just play in the bowl games.
This is why why it's inferior to me, because you fight all season to work hard to get to a championship as a team, and then you have the guys bailing out. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not bad mouthing the guys, because I understand that the importance of keeping healthy.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it could have been the
Yeah,
case
it's
all
a
year. You could have
business,
blown
man.
the knee
Yeah.
out in week 4, but whatever. And then these guys make that decision. So that, to me, is why it's inferior to myself. When I watch a championship, I want to see the best players out there trying to do their best to win the best prize. That's not the case in college. That's why it will be and continue to be inferior to me when it comes to my football. Michael, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
Dumyinzers.com. Head on over there and you can check out everything you need to know for Dumb Yinzers. We have links to YouTube, Spotify, Anchor. What else do we got? Instagrams, the Facebook, the Twitters. Yeah, everything you need. Dumyinzers.com.
I really got I'm not going to get into it, but I got so many great news stories. Like, we're going to have to definitely hit on news stories earlier tomorrow.
Heck
I
yeah.
have some that are just going to make you shit. I keep pushing them back.
Ooh, make me poop my pants.
Let me give you an example.
Sure.
Man charged with killing and dismembering his father because he believed he was a robot. See, this is what yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh before it got died.
Yeah. See, that wasn't
yeah.
to fill space. These are legit, man. These are some
That
legit.
was great. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely tomorrow needs to be fucked up news day.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bunch. There's a bunch.
Poor guy. Fuck them kids, right?
Yeah. But yes, Mike, great job. Check out the website, www.2dumyinzers.com. Also, we are live every day from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's Monday through Friday. And the shows that we do that day live go up that evening at 8 o'clock on Spotify. And you can watch those in podcast form. Mike, you ready to do a little bit of trivia to end out the show, buddy?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Oh man, this day has been great.
Yes.
I'm gonna fuck it up on the trivia.
No, I kind of threw you. I threw you on here. All right, Mike, are you ready?
I am fucking ready.
All right, here we go. Ravens, obviously. This is a Ravens question. For how well do you know your enemy? All right, here we go. The Ravens' second Super Bowl victory was named the blank. The Ravens' second Super Bowl victory was named the blank. And go.
That's the one they won against San Francisco.
Yes.
And that's the one where the power went out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know this one. Because they were losing.
What a weird situation that was.
I
wish we were doing the show then.
And this was what Ray Lewis's last game.
That could have went into the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it is too, because they were being dominated by Colin Kaepernick in the Niners, and then they had that extended recovery time for the tired defense.
I tell you what, I was scared of that Colin Kaepernick when he was on the top of his game while he was in the league.
He was fucking.
I thought this guy's going to win some Super Bowls for San Francisco. And
they should have won that one. The league wanted Ray Lewis to go out on top because they know what he would happen if he didn't win. He would have had to change clothes and throw him away.
Mike, so the Ravens' second Super Bowl victory was named the blank.
I'm gonna go with the Blackout Bowl.
The Blackout Bowl. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
All right. Let's lock you in. Mike is locked in for the Blackout Bowl. Here we go. The Ravens' second Super Bowl victory was named the Blackout Bowl, Mike says. And that is...
It's got to be along those lines at least.
It was the Blackout Bowl.
No shit.
Right on the nose. You nailed it.
I said it, but it doesn't sound romantic enough for the NFL. You get to see the hands, the catch, the immaculate reception, the immaculate extension, the Blackout Bowl.
when I wrote this one, Mike, it gave me a handful of options, and that would have even made it easier because it was like the Ice Bowl, the Fog Bowl, the Blackout Bowl, and then something else that you knew pretty well. So I thought I'm not even throwing the other answers in there. That's gonna make it easier.
Yeah.
But no, you nailed it, Mike. It was the Blackout Bowl, of course, and great job. You do know your Ravens.
I do know my Ravens. They ever since they moved to Cleveland, man. That's the rival, man. You got to know that shit.
Yes, you know what? I can't wait. These Raven games, they're so different to me. When I watch Steeler Raven games, and I know that it's cliche to say that every play is so big, but you can't tell me that every play you're not just on the edge of your seat, just watching every inch gained and every inch lost and every extra shoulder thrown and these Raven
it's so important because every game has been decided for the last couple of years. The last couple of times we played, it's been like one possession.
Yeah.
I think it's been like 3 points or less. These games have been decided by. It's insane.
And I like that because here's one thing, Mike. If we don't win, at least we don't get blown out. And you can it was a good game. You know, we didn't win, but it was we lost by 2. So, but you know what? I hope we could pull it together. Even like we were saying earlier, even if we do not get in the playoffs, even if the Dolphins do beat the Patriots prior to the game and we do get knocked out, we still do want to win these games to get it, keep the coach on top, get that 9-8 record to help his record. I think that would be awesome. But the Ravens, Mike, big game. I can't wait. Always get that few extra butterflies that week. And it's really for a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, it's a big thing, these Ravens games. I feel it's the same way to them guys over there too.
It's a true rivalry. There's like no team has really been dominant.
No,
they go. You have a couple years where we won the 3 against them. I think they swept us a couple times. So it's just back and forth every year. You don't know what's going to happen. You can have one team could be so much better than the other, but the minute they play,
I would not want to be any other team in any other rivalry than this one here. I love this. I love the Steelers Ravens. I love the Steelers. It's great football. It's gonna be highly watched. Believe me, there's a lot of people who's gonna be watching this game on Sunday night. That's gonna be for a fact. All right, everybody. Well, hey, Mike, do you have anything before we take off?
Bruce Arians, baby. Bruce
There
Arians.
you go, Bruce Arians. One of my favorite cower.
One of my favorite Mike Tomlin.
There you go. Mike
Offensive
says it himself.
coordinator.
See, Mike convinced himself that it was one way, but now at the end of the show, he's admittedly
No,
coming out and saying
no,
coward
no,
because
no, no.
he knows.
I said coward because you just said coward. You put that in there, man. You fucking magician over there. You mind magician.
But hey, we do thank everybody for watching. Please keep continuing to do so. Mike, Ryan, the two Dum Yinzers. We'll see you tomorrow.